let us go and maybe... The thing is, how am I ever going to reach that there? Jesus Christ, I knew that was going to happen when I touched the thing. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Scrap Mechanic with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our still beautiful old base. In the last two episodes, we actually got to building our new home, all the way out there by the lakeside. And we've made some decent progress on it, I would say, scheming out like a lot of things like the actual size of the building, the width of the hallways, the height of the individual rooms, the size of the atrium, just overall kind of scheming things out, making a good plan for it. And well, in the progress, we've already used up like, I would say, a good 1,500–2,000 blocks. And everything that we really have going out there is pretty much still a frame, which is quite insane, because I'm looking to make that thing like 2–3 stories in the very end, and we do need a whole huge wall of concrete going around the outside. So it's going to be quite a bit of work getting all these blocks together, and honestly, in between episodes, I've already been farming with the miner good bunch, honestly, like probably for 2 in-game days, just farming away at rocks, stacking up tons of metal, tons of scrap stone, and that only brought us to like another 1,000 bricks, I think. So the grind for this certainly is going to be quite insane, but that is probably not what today is going to be about, because as I just previously said, we do want to build a concrete wall around the entire thing. So we probably are going to go and get working on that today. I've got most of everything ready to go for us. I was doing some POIs, I was diving, so we had the component kits and the glue to actually go and make a big crate. We do have the pump ready, of course. We've got all the materials to make some pipes, and we should also easily be able to make a switch. So we're going to go and actually get ourselves a chemical pump set up today. Pretty similar just to what we had going in the end on the oil pump. And, well, then once we're done with that, we're going to actually continue building, which, let's see how much time we'll have left. But as I said, I do have a good 1,000 bricks in the cargo of this thing here right now as well, so we will totally have enough for this very episode. Just before we get started on all that, though, if you're new around here, and if you do happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to smash that subscribe button right down below. That will mean the absolute world to me. I'm currently very hard trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and every single person truly does help out a ton. With that all out of the way, though, let us go and get started on this very deal. So, as you can see, I mean, the crate is already good to go. Now, what we don't quite have ready here are the pipes, because, well, previously I didn't really have much space at all in here. Not really like I do have that much more now, but, you know, I don't know, these crates have filled up quite heavily. We'll have to find some sort of solution of what to do with all this stuff. Currently, I don't quite know. Now, I think for the platform this time around, we're just going to use some wood instead of the scrap stone that we did on the oil platform, just for the simple reason that we've got tons of wood that we don't know what to do with, and we don't have any scrap stone. Even if we did, we do very much know what we want to do with that. So we're going to go and grab these parts, but before we actually go, and let me, by the way, I also made some fuel. I'm going to grab that. Before we go and actually build a chemical pond, well, first things first, we're going to have, well, not a chemical pond, but a chemical pump, rather. First things first, I mean, we will have to find a chemical pump again, which I am not entirely sure, to be honest, where the pond was. We will have to see. I've got a feeling that was somewhere where, like, out... Whoa, God. I shouldn't be flying and showing things. Oh, ow, ooh, ow, help. Oh, it's not a very soft landing, was it? But I think it was like somewhere out there that we had already seen rather a bit of a chemical pond. I can really not talk today. I am sorry. We'll have to double check and find it though. Now, what I do want to check out is our general setup on this very thing right here. As you can see, well, it seems we're pretty much good to go, honestly. We do have a second pipe element, which is going to bring this a bit further up, and we don't have to place the chest that far down, but I mean, overall, you can see that this is more than fine. While we're here, let's just grab 3 stacks of oil, I suppose. We can always use some more fuel, especially since I will heavily have to grind with that miner all the materials, well, all the scrap stone that we do require in order to, in order to go and get that house set up. And, you know, alongside we get, like, tons of metal, and we'll have enough of that for eternity. Why not? I mean, as you can see, I've already nearly got a full stack of tier 1 metal, which is quite good overall, I would say. I'm quite happy with that. Let me go through all the crude oil in here. I'm already going to go and make another stack, since we've just taken one. Just, you know, ensuring that we are keeping the supplies of fuel up. And, you know, I had already refueled this thing more or less, so it's quite full, but what we are carrying that stack of fuel with us for now is, of course, these thingies right here, in the end. As much as we've upgraded these a good bit, and as much as these are now a bit more efficient and have more thrust for the fuel used, I think we don't want to be stranded out in the middle of nowhere without much of any fuel going for ourselves. Now, I do think I hadn't picked up the last pipe element, and also not the pump, so let's go and grab these. So that's all the pumps, the pipes, that's the pump, that's the pipe elements here, that is that switch also taken care of. And the chest. Cool. We should be good to go on that then. The thing is, we don't really have much space to carry all too much chemical with us, but in the end I don't think I'm going to stand next to that thing for about 10 bajillion years anyways. Now, what I do actually remember, though, we've got about 5 hours until there's another raid on this farm. I almost forgot about that again. Jesus Christ, it is terrible. The thing is, I was actually growing some pineapples here. They're still not grown. I'm a bit confused. This is literally the second wave on these pineapples. I'm not sure if something got changed on the growth time of these. I may actually recall very, very faintly somebody telling me that these were changed in terms of the growth time. Let me know if anything changed in terms of the growth times of these pineapples. I've actually got no clue. We're just going to water these once more to make sure that they stay hydrated, because they already ran out of hydration once. Overall, we do have another raid coming in about like 4 to 5 hours, so we're not going to go build the pump just yet. I think we're just going to fly around real quick, see if we can spot the thing from the air, and very quickly make our way back home for the time being. Right into the freaking lamp. That flippin' hurt. Jeez. But yeah, we're literally just gonna go and check this out. Make our way back home rather quickly then, before we have any issues there with the raid and, like, you know, the entire thing blapping for us again. So I had a feeling that was somewhere over here, and honestly, as a side note, look at the render speed here. That's quite insane. We're really outpacing the game a good bit here. Let me just go and, you know, fix that and make it upright again. But overall, I do have to say I'm really happy that we do have the flying vehicle. I mean, could you imagine just how much time it would take to actually get around this far on our car? Is this a pond that is actually usable? No. This one seems empty, unless the chemical hasn't rendered in yet. I had thought it looked somewhat like that. I do remember there was like some tanks and stuff next to it. Apparently, well, this is not the chemical tank we are searching for. If anyone gets the reference. Moving on. Let's go and have another quick zoom around here. I had thought it was in this general direction. Oh, is it there? I think I see it. So it's basically just all the way across the pond for us here, isn't it? Oh, the one thing that I did forget, and maybe that's a good thing that we do remember. Ow! The one thing that I did forget here in the end is an antenna to find this thing again. So we're probably going to go, well, a beacon. That is a list of current beacons we have. Not of beacons we're carrying, unfortunately. But this here, looking at the time, we need to hurry up. It is the chemical pond. Okay. Beautiful, perfect, absolutely glorious. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. I do think I saw a crate up here. I'm a bit worried about any megabots and stuff being around also. Ooh, look at that. another ember forest. If and when we run out of material on the first one, can always go to that one. I mean, honestly, there's still a good bunch left, but still. Okay, so this here is then the chemical pond that we're going to use in just a second. Before we go and fly back, let me just top up the fuel right here. That's, you can see just how quickly we sip that fuel up. We need to, well, I mean, it would be great to have a fuel tank on this thing. I do worry that one thruster in that case wouldn't be enough for it anymore, though. In general, we do need to kind of... see, we at least always need to carry enough fuel with us as a little separate thing. So, for the exact route, well, it's not quite just across the pond, I guess. It's actually quite freaking far away from our base, to be honest. I hate this misalignment. It's triggering the heck out of me. I think this is our base. Yeah. Look at the way things are rendering in slowly but surely. Hi, home. Home sweet home, we're back. Pretty sure we made it just in time. We've found the chemical pond, so that's good. It's quite a bit further away, honestly, than I had hoped it was going to be, but hey, I mean, in the end it works. In terms of time, we have got like 50 minutes left, which should allow me to just quickly go and schedule another run of fuel. Just to make sure, you know, that we keep that flowing in. Because we are literally going to go and instantly take another stack. It's quite mad the speed at which that thing is sipping through fuel. On the other hand side, I mean, you've got to keep in mind just how quickly we got around the whole map right there. Good news. Mostly, the pineapples are ready. Not the greatest news because we can't pick them up, but it's fine. The new raid is only being like... not calculated, but triggered at like 4:30 AM, so I mean in the end we can easily get these things out of the way when the raid is here. Now I do hope that this raid is not going to be too hefty, given that's the second one in a row. I can't spot any haybots right now. Okay, I guess given that I had already gotten rid of the potatoes, it's overall a bit of a chill raid for us, which, you know, I don't mind. Honestly, I had expected more than this. But last time around I was already like growing some potatoes and stuff that were ready a lot faster than the pineapples were, and that's I guess why I did get some haybots. In the end, now we had quite the chill time. But yeah, I mean, you can see I'm making some progress now, slowly but surely again on the pineapples. I'm quite sure we needed 4 stacks, so it's probably going to be another episode before we have all of them that we need for the minigun. But at the very least, you know, we are nicely proceeding. Let's just get rid of this so we have some space. Actually, we do need some space for the saplings too in the end. Guess we're going to eat the orange real quick. But yeah, so overall making some nice progress on that. It's still going to be another episode maybe, and I do need to make myself some more food as well. As you could see there maybe a second ago, we are also quite low on burgers, so we do need to make sure to kind of stay alive, because honestly, I mean, in the end, I always have to wait a day between planting things with pineapples. Apparently, they also take 2 days to be ready now, which is quite a lot, maybe a little less than 2 days, because as I said, they weren't hydrated for a quick period. But, you know, in general, it does take a lot of time planting these, and we do have to wait. In the meanwhile, I easily eat on average a burger a day, so if we don't watch out right there, we will very quickly run out of food and die a horrible death, which is not great. Now, before we do take off, I just remembered a very crucial factor, which I had instantly forgotten about again, which is the beacon. So let's see if we can quickly make that. I very much hope so. I think it needed, in the majority electronic circuits, does need a radio too, which we can make. So let's go make that radio. That's going to take a minute, then the beacon's going to take a minute, which is all fine, because I'm going to place a quick cut for you all real quick, and then I'll see you on the other side. Alright, back I am. As you can see, the beacon is now finished, and we're pretty much good to go. So let's go and hop on that flying vehicle again, and we'll go and fly back out to that chemical pond and hopefully remember where it was at. I do really have the very, very strong feeling that there was another alternative one somewhere else in the end, but I really can't recall where in the world that would have been. I mean, if it would be closer, you know, that would be nice, but honestly, in the end, it's quite fine. That POI right there on the island interests me quite a lot. I mean, there's a second one right there even. I do wonder, honestly, if Wait a second. That's the wrong spot, isn't it? Oh, here it must be, right? Nearly, but not quite. See, that's what we need the beacon for in the end. But yeah, very intrigued by those POIs in the end. I guess it's probably just like standard POIs, nothing special about them. But here's the chemical ponds. We will go and build ourselves a nice little platform, I guess, and then we'll go and get ourselves some chemical. Hopefully there's like no properties of this purple thing, well, of this purple chemical substance that will make the wood disintegrate or something. Ooh, or me, if I don't watch out. That remains to be seen. Fingers crossed, I guess. One way or another. Let's go and make a nice big platform. Ideally, probably even with some guardrails, just, you know, for clumsy me before I fall in and die. We will hopefully try and get that taken care of too. For a start. I guess that shall be it. You know, we can have a nice little platform to walk upon and nearly fall off of because there's no guardrail. Told you I needed that. Okay, let's go and make a little bit of a pole. As with the other one, right into there. We will go and on that pole, place a vacuum pump. Or, I guess we can put that there. And that should be sufficient if I compare it to... Oh, maybe not. We'll just do this. Just to make sure, you know. Wood is still standing, so that's some good news. Didn't disintegrate right below that part. We'll go and put a little connector right there, and then we'll... Wait a second. Oh. See, the thing is, I wouldn't even have needed two of these. Because this is something that I just remembered Spastic Cube told me a while ago was actually a thing that worked. And it always works beautifully. And, well, in the end, you know, you can just take care of things like that. You don't need two parts. So, yeah, if you want to, you know, alter the length of your vacuum pipes, just use your mouse wheel instead of slapping like 10 on each other. You will save a lot of materials and vacuum pipes. Good, good that I at least remember that. We'll just use the other vacuum pipe for something else in the end, I suppose. We do have this beautiful, beautiful chest here now, which we will need to adequately connect, and ideally also put the right side up and not in some weird shape or form. Just like that. Feels quite fine to me. Then let's go. Really kind of want a bit of a railing thing going on here. I don't really have that much in terms of wood blocks already going for me again, but can I go and step between these two, or is that too small? Okay, that is already blocking me, which is good. I mean, that's the intent here after all. Do a little bit of a symmetry. Oh god, okay. I am kind of tempted to extend the platform, but I also kind of know that we don't really have enough blocks, so we will, I guess, have to live with that fact for the time being. The main thing kind of just being the railing, as you can see. It nicely blocks me in. Really, really risking my own life to test that out, but hey. Let us go and maybe... The thing is, how am I ever going to reach that there? Jesus Christ, I knew that was going to happen when I touched the thing. That's not great, really. What we can maybe do... Or not? No, we can. Something like that. Hey, cool. So that way we can actually extend this a bit. In the end, that is also not really symmetrical. So I don't quite know what I thought there. But we can maybe do a little something like that, you know? That looks a bit better. And then here we will just have to live with the ever-lasting chance of us dying. Hopefully not, but you know. That is what it is for the time being. Now we do need that very switch right here. Let's go and maybe put that... here? Fine, I would say. We're going to connect that up to the pump, and we're going to go and click that button. And nothing's going to happen. I think because we haven't configured the direction of the pump yet. What have I done wrong in this configuration? There's something I clearly did wrong here. I'm not entirely sure yet what it may be. I have clearly not done this in quite the while. Well, I think part of the issue may be that we've not properly placed the chest for a start. That connection did not look good at all. This is... yeah, that looks good. Okay, no, we just hadn't properly placed the chest. That's why I couldn't configure the way that it sucks the thing in. Now, there we go. Here comes the chemical. Absolutely beautiful. There goes our chemical pump. That is... I was really getting worried that you can actually empty these ponds. But no, so this is hopefully going to help us quite a lot then in our quest to actually get some proper concrete going. What sort and all will be a thing, well, a quest for us to actually take care of in the future to find out what we do want to do there. But for a start, you know, that should provide ample amounts of chemical for us to actually get things going, and then we'll see what we'll do when we get there, I guess. Now, maybe what we can do here is kind of just putting the signal itself, well, which orientation is which here? What we could kind of do is just putting the signal itself right here. That way we can also kind of prevent ourselves at least a bit more from falling off on this side. In the end, can maybe make this nice purple for the chemical. And is there anything that would be anywhere close to chemical? Not really. Is there? I'm not seeing anything. Let's just, I guess, do that. I don't mind. Cool, so that is our next beacon setup. That should enable us to find this. Now let's try and find our flying vehicle thingy again as well. All the chemicals pumping. I'm quite sure we will come back to that another day to actually grab all the chemical then as well. Maybe even, you know, add a little craft bot to the setup. I'm not quite sure what we needed for that. I'm thinking it was probably more component kits, so given that we're a bit short on those currently, that may be something for only the further away future, but we will see about that when we get there. For the time being, I mean, there's going to be a whole lot of bricks needed for our home somewhere down there. There it just popped in. Anyways, oh god, that looks terrible. Just seeing all the items through the walls. Cool, there we go. That was a soft landing. Somewhat feathering us down to the ground without dying. Quite happy with that. And back home we are. So that's beautiful. I'm going to leave the chemical in here that we already got. And then we're going to go from there. I do have one component kit, I guess, from some sort of Haybot I had killed. So that's always beautiful. We're going to leave that here too. And let us go and quickly go and already pick up this vehicle and head on to our quest of actually working on our new and fancy home some more. So, in terms of this, we don't have to really do that much more in terms of framing for the time being. I think mainly it is really just, well, us throwing materials at the walls in order to actually have a proper structure instead of just like this. So, that is the plan right there. The thing that I'm not entirely sure of just yet would be just how we do want to take care in the end of, where's the, there, just how we do want to take care in the end of, like, the transition from the main rooms to the atrium, if we want to have some windows already down below or not, what we want to do there, so we'll see about that. For a start, I'm going to go and lay out the floors, which is already, let's be honest, going to suck up for the bottom floor more materials than we have currently on us. So we're not going to do that the entire way through. What I would like to do is do this like entry hallway thingy, because what I would already like to look at is basically having a bit of a floor going on somewhere in the end, which I guess the floor would be this. So let's go and pull that out a bit more, so we have an inner frame going on for ourselves too. I guess there is some framing still to do in terms of actually depicting the size of this thing. We're going to go and pull this frame out real quick. Oopsies. That way we do also kind of know where the floor's supposed to be. Or the ceiling, however you see it. Not quite sure if we will do 2 layers, 4 floors, or multiple, or just 1. I mean, in general, I'm not sure, honestly, if there's like... I mean, we could have like some wood floors or something in some places. So, I mean, that would also make things a bit easier for us in terms of the amount of bricks needed, and I think having the entire thing made out of bricks, even the floors and everything, is not going to make it feel all too homey. So I think there's a chance that we will do 2 thick floors. So like a ceiling and then a floor basically smashed on top of each other, so we can get some difference going there. That means that the floor level is basically 1 higher than the ceiling level in the end. But what I do want to find out with this, after all, is kind of, as I previously had stated, I would like to get a little bit of a staircase going right here. So that's something I would really like to scheme out in terms of how we're going to do this. I'm not quite sure yet how easy this is going to be to get going, because what I would really like to do, and Jesus Christ, we're already out of materials. What I would really like to do here in the end, though, is to actually have a staircase that starts like maybe right around here and goes all the way up. I mean, in the end, you know, I think up top here will be somewhat open. There will not be a second floor on top of this section. The second floor will only start on top of this one. So we do have some flexibility in terms of where the stairs end up. And I think this one right here would let the stairs end up a bit too close anyway. So, oops. We will kind of replan that. I suppose we can start somewhere from around here. And then just go up. In the end, it's going to be kind of a bit of a question of how and where we want to do things. I'm quite sure that we will potentially reshape these a few times, basically on like... based on where we want to have these start and end for us. But that's just something I would really like to get a bit of an idea going on. So let's go and remove all that. And we can do this, and that, and that. Something along these lines at the very end of the day. Now that's not going to get us all the way up there. And I feel like we could probably start these a bit further back. In the end, I don't want to have any open holes here. I want to have like a closed off wall. It's going to require a bit of experimentation. I think the stairs are going to start like maybe more here. We're going to try that out. But okay, that's, well, the floor's done. That's the inner frame done. And that's a bit of a staircase already schemed out. And that is literally all of the blocks gone again. I'm telling you, these are going quite quickly. So we'll get back to this in the next episode. I think we'll probably have like another 1,000, 1,500 stones going for us. We will get to maybe building out this like first part here a bit so we can actually experiment with the stairs a bit better. We'll get the stairs going. We'll have a little mirror going on the other side in terms of the stairs. And then we'll probably also just take some of our tier 1 wood blocks and make ourselves some hardwood floors. Because honestly, I like the idea. I don't think we're going to put them everywhere, especially in like machine areas. We're probably going to have some more utilitarian floors. But in general, you know, that would probably be a good way to get rid of some of that wood as well that we have collected in the past. So very much looking forward to that. For today, though, I'm going to end it off right here. I hope you all very much enjoyed this episode. If you did, as usual, make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next one very, very soon. Ciao.